Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Project Cars 2 and welcome to the Nordschleife at the Nürburgring. I had so much fun in the Lamborghini the other day. I thought we'd do some more hypercars. So we've got Road A, Road B, Road C. We're going to do 4 laps of the Nurb. See how she goes. I'm in LaFerrari, and I'll be real with you. I've been testing this car forever, and I'm not having good luck with it. So we'll see. Here we go. Yep. This car is wicked oversteer and wicked understeer. It's got understeer at low speeds. It doesn't brake well, and the back end kicks out under power pretty much all the time. I don't know if it's a bugged out car or what, but I've been testing it for a couple of days. It's like it's impossible to get power down. And I feel like, when else? When's the best time to pass? Coming out of a corner, coming out of a curve complex. And you gas on and squirt past on the inside. Well, you can't squirt in this car. There's no squirting. There's also no late braking. There's barely any early braking. Now, to be fair, there have been a couple times when I've the car's kind of squirrely, and I look down and I'm going 270 kilometers an hour. All right, maybe squirrely at those speeds. A little different. The understeer is the weirdest thing for me. I would think that this car would really... Okay. This is a little better. Man, I messed with every setup. Fantastic. Oh, game. Well, that has not improved the handling. I thought it would. I thought if I wrecked the front end, it might help with that understeer, but turns out it didn't. So I'll cross that off the list. All right, let's see how we do at 320 kilometers an hour with a busted car. Turns out not so good. That was interesting. You know what? I'm stubborn. I'm going now. This guy. Can't tell if my lights are on or off. They're on. Right. Yeah, the car was bad before. Now it is horrific. But we're not giving up. Because that's just the kind of person I am. How's everybody going so slow all of a sudden? What's up? And I'm 7 seconds off my lap, so it's not like I suddenly decided to go faster. Did they all, I wonder if they, whoops. I wonder if they all crashed each other out. Oh yeah, car is barely controllable. This is fantastic. You know what I think about when I'm doing this? I think this is fun for me. This is relaxing. Like I'm not puppy kicking mad right now, but it's close, and I think this is a hobby. This is fun for you. Mm-hmm. I am hanging back from these two a little bit. I've got some power. Like if I wanted to, right? If I wanted to catch them up, I can catch them up on power. I just don't know what they're doing, and I feel like they're just about to crash each other out. Take me with them. Take that with you. I think that's the biggest thing for me is I just can't get power down fast enough. Like no matter how slowly I roll on, it just breaks the back end. This P1 is come on, come on. P1 is not feeling well, I don't think. But to be fair, I'm not feeling well either. My busted ass car. Come on. What's that? Third, and we're 10 seconds off. We can do this. Another P1. Oh, I love when he yells in my ear like that while I'm concentrating. That's awesome. Go. Go. Ah, there we go. All right. Well. What? See, like, what's going on now? What? What? Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Yep. And so this is telling me I'm... Alright. So this car's got to be sick, because I'm just creeping along. I'm 30 seconds off my best lap. And we're just catching this guy up like nothing. So we're gonna get first, but I think this car in front of us is broken. Has to be. Well, this is the worst race ever. Oh, okay. There he goes. There he goes. Alright. Maybe not broken. Oh. And the wind is just like knocking me all over. Ah, game. Now, let me see if I can get through the bridge section. Ah. Better. Cleaner. So I got 2 laps. We're in second. I got 2 laps to pass this fool. But I can't. I don't think I'm going to get him on the straight. So I say this lap. So I was about to say this lap. Why don't I just hang behind him and see if he makes a mistake? And just as I was saying that, I almost stuffed the car. So. Now, I don't think I'm going to get this guy on power, because I saw the way he kind of pulled away from me on the gantry to bridge straight, so I feel like lap 4 maybe. I'll see if I can put him down early in the lap and get 8 or 10 seconds on him. I mean, I'm happy to do it now. If he makes a mistake now, I'm happy to do it. If I can. I don't say it like, oh, good, yeah, I'll just... But you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? That was pretty. That was a pretty pass. Yeah. Yeah. Just go on the inside with 2 wheels in the dirt and the ripple strip tearing the guts out of your car. It'll be perfect. Yeah, I am going to be tiptoeing a little bit this last lap and a half. Just because the car is broken. I mean, I could barely control this car when it was whole, and now it's busted. The understeer I don't get. Yeah, the understeer I don't get that at all. I mean, the power trying to put the power down sucks, but at least it makes sense. But the understeer is kind of a mystery. I know. Just trying to get through my lap. Gotta do this straight 2 more times. Then we're done. Ooh, okay. There we go. You would think that this would be the easiest part. It's just straight. But between the busted car and the wind, And if I go off here, it's not like scuffing the guardrail, it's just instant done. Alright, I feel like I'm starting to learn the car a little bit. A little bit. It's still evil. But I feel like I'm starting to anticipate it a little bit and be able to kind of point it where I want it. A little bit. But you know what's going to happen now. I'm going to get that overconfidence. I'm going to get that overconfidence and stuff it at 150 miles an hour. So last lap was what, 8:19? So if I take 19 seconds off, I can do a sub 8 minute. Alright. Challenge accepted. God damn it. It's doing so good. Well, you know, in a relative sense. Right, I still want our sub 8 minute mile. What's not a mile? What lap? Sub 8 minute lap. You know, it's weird because you get that oversteer, and then I try to correct it, and it's like it releases, and then I don't know, it's just I wouldn't say that it's unpredictable, but what it does in a predictable way is so bizarre. So it says we're up 22 seconds. Easy, easy. Oh my goodness. Right. Well, we turned a 756. Not a total loss. Ah. God. Hand cramps. Right. Let's do a replay. And I'm going to have a little coffee. And a little vape. I don't know, man. I found a lot of threads that said LaFerrari it's either an accurate representation of a car that is impossible to control in real life, or it's a bugged out car, there's a glitch in the physics or something. And there were a few people that were like, oh yeah, I love it, it's my favorite car. I can, whatever. But I did find a lot of threads from people saying, no man, that car it's not right. To have oversteer and understeer simultaneously, regardless of setup, is... I can't see that that's accurate. I can't see that the car drives that way in real life. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. It's fun in a weird way. I don't know how you game, but it's fun in a weird way to try to sort out a car like that. You know, at the other end of the spectrum from something like a P1. Or a 918 or something that's just like rock steady, glued to the road. It's fun to drive a car that fights you a little bit. But this one I feel like fights you a little too much. I was eventually getting the hang of it if there was a series in the game, a race series that you had to do in LaFerrari. I think eventually I would be able to anticipate the car well enough and sort of know its quirks that I would do a series. You know, whatever, the LaFerrari Classic, like Gran Turismo used to have, 5 races in this car, or 3 races in that class, or whatever. If there was a LaFerrari series, I would do it, just to do it. And I do feel like this is probably 4-lap race. I've done this probably 8 times, 10 times, practicing, so call it 40 laps I have in this car. 40 laps of the Nurb, which is like 160 laps of any other circuit because it's just so long. But yeah, man, and I don't know. I mean, I get upset when I game. I cuss a little bit, I get all fired up, whatever. It's just gaming. I hope you understand, and I hope you're not offended by that. I don't throw controllers. I don't, pitch a fit. I get frustrated. I feel, I want things to be perfect. Like that little graphics glitch right there. Not perfect. I want things to be perfect. I want my lines to be perfect. I want my setup to be perfect. Just whatever. And it sucks when it's not. And when I'm frustrated, I'm as often as not, I'm frustrated with myself more than the game. Knowing the laps that I've turned at the Nurb. I turned a 5:59 in the Bentley Speed 8. So I know I can. And then when I don't, it's like, oh, come on, man. You know this track. You're better than that. So, but, ultimately at the end of the day, it's all in good fun. And I feel like, getting fired up when you game, getting, pissed off and cussing a little bit, I feel like that is the same as, yelling at the TV when you're watching sport, or, getting fired up about whatever, politics, something. You don't want to act like a complete lunatic, but at the same time, I think it's perfectly reasonable to feel strongly about things and to have, I don't know, how do I want to say this? Like, I get fired up about gaming. I cuss a little bit. I get frustrated, right? But if I was, how do I want to say this? If there was, I don't know, I can't imagine why there would be. But if there was a judge watching me, if I was on parole or something, and there was a judge watching me, and they were like, all right, if you pitch a fit, you're going to stay on parole. You're going to stay on probation. Let's see how cool you are when you game. I would be totally cool. So I think there's a difference between being fired up when you game, which I get, and being out of control when you game or in any other part of your life. Like when you're driving in real life and somebody cuts you off and you're like, oh, look at this guy. It's reasonable to have a reaction. If you follow that person to their house and hit them with a wrench, you might be taking things a little too seriously. So that sounds like a total rationalization that I'm more or less saying like, oh, the way I do it is acceptable and the way other people do it obviously is not. And I don't mean it like that. I'm not saying that because I do it, it's okay. I'm saying I try to keep myself to a level that a reasonable person would think is okay. And to me, you gotta care about your gaming enough to get upset a little bit. If you don't get upset a little bit, then you just don't care. And I think if you don't care, you can't, like I was saying before, it's not, games are so hard now. And I know games have, at various times in history, games have been difficult. It just feels like games are hard, man. They really are hard in this era. And Jesus. Okay. I took some damage. Let's rewind. And who's me? That's me with the headlights on. Yeah, I guess I just clip it with the right front. Okay. Yeah, let's go back one more time. Could I have avoided that? That's me with the headlights. Could I have avoided that? Not really. I couldn't go right. But now I've done it. I couldn't go right. I think there was a Porsche there. If I went left into the grass, I would have hit that radical that was flipped over. And when I went straight, I hit the other Porsche that was coming across the lane. The hole, the slot. Okay. I don't feel bad about that. I think if that happened in real life, obviously it would ruin my weekend. My race would be over. But that's not the kind of thing that I would worry about my manager calling me in and being like, listen, we send you out in this car, etc., etc. I don't feel bad about that. Just a racing incident. But that sound is pretty tinny and electric right there. Better. I suppose. Right. Well, you know how we do it here at the Portable Gamer. We leave in the fail. So, yeah, man, these games are hard, but I think, for me personally, I like it that way. I want a challenge. I want a game that's hard. I want to bang this shit out of that car as I pass it to. Folks, thank you so much for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Project Cars 2. We'll see you next time. Take care now.